you through the remuneration report first of all. As you know, your first commission run will happen tonight on Officeweb, so have a look tomorrow and see if there's anything there for you. You'll see on the left-hand side of the screen there's a link that says report. Click on this and a selection screen appears. We're interested in the PS firm account. Now when you click on a category in the middle of the screen, you can see I've highlighted PS firm account. The menu on the right-hand side of the screen changes. Now, as the commission people process commission during the day, oh, we've got that funny message again, excuse me. As they post batches from when commission's received, commission will accrue as the day is going on. So the first report I'm going to show you, so that you can see if anything is due to be paid to you in a certain day, is the current outstanding payments report in the middle here. So if we click on this, at the bottom of the screen, there is, let's just enlarge that. At the bottom of the screen, you will see Run Report. Click on Run Report. Your selection will default to your own name for your firm. If there's a couple of advisors together and you've got a trading style, it will default to your trading style. Click OK. Now, as I say, this is an example I've created, so don't think that this is what commission has actually been loaded on so far today and think, oh, I'm going to get some money from Sterling or whoever. This is purely an example. The report is running. If it takes a little while, I have got some examples saved, so we can just show you one. In fact, let's go on to that rather than make you wait. Not that one. Let me try again. Sorry for this. Right, here is a current outstanding payments report that's just appeared for you. The first column is a segref. You'll see it says 1540325, etc., etc. That is a unique identifier for that policy on Officeweb. So if you needed to ring the advisor remunerations team because you had a query in relation to one of these, you would or could quote that number and it would take them straight to the entry that you're looking for. It quotes the client's name, the policy number, and then the provider and the product type, and the end column shows the amount that is payable to you. Top half of the screen shows commission initial. The bottom part, you'll see it says advisor charge, and there's a couple of advisor charges that have gone on here. So that's the running total for today's commission run. That report will clear tomorrow morning when the commission run actually takes place, and it will then appear on your commission statements. So let's have a look at a commission statement. There you go, the current outstanding payments report is now loaded, but it was better than waiting for it. I'm going back to the browser here. Now the daily report, there are two that are going to show you what has actually been paid on a particular day. Let's click on the business processed. It says WOM at the end, as that's whole of market. And again, scroll to the bottom of the page, and let's get rid of that again, and Run Report. I have an example saved. In this example, because of my firm, I'm actually going to choose the 7th of July, but you can see from this selection screen, you could actually do it for a whole date range, one day, whatever you choose. You won't be able to choose dates, historical dates, because obviously there'll be nothing on the system. Defaults to my firm again. I'm not going to choose any commission type. I just want to see what I've been paid on this particular day. You then press OK. But as I say, I've already saved an example, so I'm just going to open that up for us to have a look. So here we go. It's got different types of commission on the report, and it separates them out. So we have initial commission, renewal commission, and a fee on there. The top one is an initial commission. In this instance, it's from Friends Life. You can see the segref again. Remember I said about the unique identifier for a policy? I actually haven't put a policy number in that one when I've been loading commissions, so I've been a little bit naughty, so excuse that. It shows the gross received by ourselves. it shows the margin that has been kept and then the amount payable to your firm or to you as an individual. Now, if you had an introducer and you'd split it, it would show the amount in this column, and if you'd shared with another partner, it would show the amount payable to there. So as you can see, as I say, there was an initial commission. For the renewal, it shows the same again. Let's just get rid of that again. And a fee, also a very similar amount. This report says at the top here, let's go back up right to the very top. Oh, I saved it, haven't I? There are 4 pages, one of 4. So if we scroll across to the next page, it gives us the total here of the gross, so the total commission, then your advisor charge, and the total at the bottom, and gives a nice little summary at the bottom of the page. So your initial commission, what was retained, your renewal, what was retained, your charge, what was retained, getting a bit repetitive, aren't I? And actually, what was payable to you here. Now, that shows you the detail of what's going on. There is a high-level report. I'm going to just cancel that off because we don't want to see that now, which is the firm account summary, which shows the actual money movement. And I do recommend that you look at this each day to see how much has been transferred to your account. So again, click on Run Report at the bottom. We have a start and end date, the same as the previous report. Doesn't default to payment dates, so put in what you like. I'm going to put in 07/07/14. A little tip here, if you wanted it to put in today's date, click T and tab off it and it will put it in for you. Click OK. Again, I've saved one for you so that we don't have to faff around waiting for it to run. So let's have a look. Again, I've done it to the date of the payment range that we looked for. And it has summarized what was on that previous report. So it's showing there was initial commission of $487.50, an advisor charge, and your renewal. But there's now a new entry on here, which is showing you the amount that's been paid to the reserve account. So in my firm's example, they have 3% still going into reserve account, and as there was initial commission, it's taken 3% of that and placed it into your reserve. And you'll see here on the right-hand side, this is your reserve account running balance. Now, if you had a reserve account balance on TP, that will have been transferred or will be transferred across to Officeweb if it's not on there yet. And you'll see an entry for that. And in fact, I'll show you an example in a minute where a balance has been transferred across. Now, you may be wondering how the system knows to put some money in the reserve account. When you're setting your commission expectation, you have the choice of indemnity or non-indemnity. If you choose indemnity, it will know to then put 3% into the reserve. So that's just a little thing for you to remember there. Let's go back to the report screen again. Cancel that one down. Those are your payment reports. They're very simple. As I say, you can run it for a date range, more than a date range. I have run some for a wider period that I'm going to show you so that you can see what happens if there is a clawback or whatever. Now again, you would run these reports in the same way that I've done them as a business process report. Ignore the current outstanding payments report because that's just the current day, so it won't show me anything historical. I'm just going to go into another report that I've done here so that you can see what a clawback will look like, just so that you know. And then we're going to have a look at the firm account summary so that you'll see what it shows on that as well. So is this the one with the clawback, I'm hoping? It might not be. It's not. This is another example, sorry, of a firm, of another daily report with initial commission going on. But if you look at this second entry, you'll see that I have done a split with an introducer and it shows the introducer amount there. So that's just for your information. I hope that helps you just to give you an example of what it looks like. Let me just find this other report for you. Bear with me. I am new after all. I think it's a fairly good excuse. Here's a clawback example for you. So it will appear on the same report. You don't need to look at a different report. You'll just see it shows you the gross being clawed back, and it splits it with the same percentages. So it takes the retention off positive solutions and the remaining balance for yourself. We'll look at the firm account summary in a second so you can see what that looks like too. Now, I mentioned earlier that there will be a transfer going through for any balance that you may have in the reserve account, and that will show on the previous report, firm account summary. So let's just have a look at that one again. Now, I've run this for a date range, and Janet, you've asked a question of what happens if you're not able to look at the current report every day. That's fine because you get the date range selection, so you just click into the dates that you want to see and it will bring it up, whether it's historical or current. So let's look at this firm account summary. As I say, I ran it from the original payment date, the 7th of July. That's the first date I put anything into this firm. And I've run it to the 9th of July because I know I did a transfer. You'll see here it's come through as a positive solutions adjustment, and it's the reserve balance from my TP account. You see it coming into your commission account, and then a minus figure there where it's transferring it into my reserve account. It's then added it to the £14.63 that was in there, so you can always see your running total of your reserve account. You'll see here too now that I am leasing a laptop from PS, and there's the monthly charge that's going through. That's why I always recommend that you look at this report, because if you're going to have any deductions, you need to know what they are, and you can see them on here. The auto payment at the top here, whenever you see auto payment, that is the payment out to you, to your bank account. The balance on my commission account, because of that £25 laptop charge, is now minus £25. I didn't accrue any commission on the 8th or 9th, as you can see. Now that balance will stay there as a minus £25 until I accrue more commission, and it will offset against that. So it'll just run. So whatever date range you run, you'll see the running total. If it shows 0 in here, it means there's been an auto payment to you and there's nothing that has accrued or been deducted. Right, moving along. Let's go back to our selection screen again. We've covered these 3 reports. What I wanted to show you is sometimes you want to know if money has been received against a particular client. And you're not going to want to go scrolling through all your reports to see. So I'm going to show you a quick way of doing this. Now bear in mind, it will only show you on here commission that has been received against the policy since we start loading commission onto Officeweb. So I know that in my particular date range, as an example, there is money loaded against this client Tucker. So I need to search for the client I'm looking for and highlight him in the bottom half of the screen. You don't need to open it, just highlight it. If you click on reports again, the selection hasn't changed. Ignore that. Let me go back to my client search again and search for Tucker. I need to click on him. Go into the reports again, and you'll see here it says client whole of market. We need to click on that. And a new selection screen appears on the right hand side. Select policy payment history report, and again at the bottom of the screen you're going to run report. A new selection screen appears. Now this is any policies that have been created on Officeweb that are under this client. I actually want to know if this mortgage amount has been received. So click on the policy you're interested in and click on OK at the bottom. And as you'll see, a policy history report has come up. It's told me what I wanted to know, that the initial commission was received on the 11th of July here, and it goes through the same figures again. It shows you the gross received, the retention taken, how much I've been paid as an advisor or partner, and on this one I actually had an introducer split for how much was paid to the advisor. So that's quite a handy little tool there if you want to see quickly what's happened on a policy. By all means, if you want to scroll through your reports, feel free. There are a selection of different reports available in the folders. I'm not going to go and enter each report for you. I'm just going to go through what's in the folders. Use them at your leisure. In fact, the more you practice with the reports, the better it gets. But obviously with your payment reports, you won't have anything in them until Commission has approved you. Under the first tab here, AR Admin, all sorts. There's a client birthday report. With this report, you choose the month you're interested in. So if it was February, you put 2 in the selection screen. Let's show you the selection screen, but I'm not going to run it because it's basic information. But you'd put 2 as your start month, and the end month is 2 if you're only interested in February and OK. It will list you all clients with a policy in that month. So if you send them birthday cards, that would be the way of acquiring them. The AR client list does what it says on the tin. It will give you a list of your clients and addresses. The AR client review is if, when you've created a client, you've clicked into the screen. Let me show you on a client so you can see. Let's have a look at this one. Go into the client details. Under this, I'm very ropey here, sorry, under the admin tab, it does say review month. If you put a review month in there and you were to run that client review report, it would then bring up any client that you set that on. I don't know how many of you have used that so far. Some people like it, other people don't, so I'll leave it up to you to decide what you want to do with that one. But there is a report there so that you can retrieve them. Let's go back into the reports folders again. The AR issued business, lapsed business, and pipeline business will split out what you have created on Officeweb according to the status. So this would be in respect of any business created on Officeweb. If it's issued and you wanted to know if it was issued, you'd run the issued business report, lapse report, pipeline report. Again, the terminology for the reports are very simple and explain what you want to see. Back on the left-hand side again, client restricted is for any restricted advisors, and we'll do the same thing as the policy history report we saw earlier. Fee and time is a fees report. The firm new business growth report here will show you your written business. So by written business, I mean anything that you have created a commission expectation on Officeweb. The start date and end date refer to the dates on which they were created on Officeweb, not the dates you may have submitted the business to the provider. So let's just have a quick look at this one. Oh, we don't want that. Take that off again and see what's in here. So I'm just going to put T in and tab off it to put today. You can cut and dice this report in many different ways. So you could choose provider. So if you had one of the provider BDMs coming in to see you and you thought, oh, before they come in, let me just check how much business I've put with them, you could choose provider and run, and it will give you a total. You can choose policy type. So again, if you were looking at your figures and you wanted to see how much you've done in investment, you could do that. You could even go down to product level. To be honest, I don't think many people use that. It's perhaps too much detail. Product category, again, is like product type. And you can even choose to do it in several different ways. So if I was to run this report now, and I'm not putting any selection in, it will list what I've created in client alphabetical order. If I click on subtotal, it lets me choose all those different things. So I might want to choose by policy status. If you remember, I said this report is a written business report. So it is going to show me anything that I've created since the 1st of January, and now I'm going to split it by policy status. So I can see what's in pipeline, what's on risk, which means the money's been received, and lapsed or not taken up if applicable, which is a far easier way of doing it than having to run an issued business report, etc., etc. We'll just wait for this one to run. It might take a little bit longer. I'm just checking to see if I've actually saved one for you, and I think I have. Let's just have a look. This one has come up, and this is one that I have saved, and it's shown me initial commission and the status here of on risk or pipeline, etc. Let's see if my real one, here we go, this one has loaded now for you. So as I say, anything I've created on the system since the 1st of January, and I've divided it by status of on risk and pipeline. It's a handy little tool that, if you want to see how much you're writing in a particular period, remember you must have created it on Officeweb for it to appear. So when you're doing your sales process, it's very important when at the end it says, do you want to set the commission for this client or policy, that you say yes and go in and set it. I'm going to show you a handy little link in a minute in the browser where if you said no, because you may want to wait for some reason, perhaps you're doing a protection plan and you know a policy is going to be rated, so you've sent it off to 3 different providers, and you think, well, I don't want to set the commission yet because I'm not sure which one it's going to be, and in the meantime the app goes through clean and the client's happy and taken it, you've merrily gone on your way and forgotten you've set the commission. There is a link where you can see those, so we'll come to that in a minute. So as I say, a handy little report, lots of people like using this one. Let's go back to the browser selection again. Group schemes, client list, says what it says on the tin. Now, if we go back to this client search screen again, I will answer some of your questions in a minute. Over on this right-hand side, this is where there are some useful little links, and I'd say the top 2. I just mentioned to you about when you may choose not to set remuneration straight away. So at the end of the sales process, I think it says something like, has your client taken out this policy? And you say yes. Do you want to set commission now? And you say no. It would appear in this remuneration not set link of, yes, I said they've taken it out, but no, they haven't got any. Literally, it would be underlined with a number here. Unfortunately, I haven't got any. Or perhaps that's just because I've been very good and set all my commission, actually. I'll look at it like that. You would click on the link, and it would list in this bottom part of the screen and enable you to then go in and set the commission. Here, it gives me a quick link to my pipeline policies. So you just click on it, and it shows me everything that I've still got in pipeline there. Another quick, handy little link, and it goes on. Several of you have asked whether you can export these reports. I'm going to go into one of the reports we've just run, hopefully, and show you what you need to do. Let's have a look at a payments one, hopefully. So we'll use this one. You do the same on all reports. The most important thing when you want to print one of these reports, do not do Control-P. It won't show on a whole page. You must use these icons here from the top row. So if you want to print, you need to click on the printer icon here, choose what number pages, export it, open, and it's come up like this, you would then print from here. Just remember, you're guaranteed that you'll do controlled print, because even I still do it now. You'll go off to your printer and come back and curse, to be honest, and then you'll remember that you've got to use that little icon. You can export these reports, and again, you use these icons on the top bar. This little one here enables you to export the reports. You can choose PDF if you just want a copy. If you use this top Excel one, I will show you actually. This report may have been on the screen a little bit too long because it will time out. It'll do it. It will look like the report, and it'll have lots of extra columns in. So if you wanted to put formulas and things in, not a good one. Look across the top here. You can see where it's got loads of hidden columns. It just makes it difficult to use. If you want to export it because you're going to use the data and manipulate it, then choose the other option for Excel here, and it just puts it in column after column. Then, as you can see there, you can do as you will with it. You can put filters on it and manipulate it basically.